Hey guys, Review Crew here with another Japanese monster movie. Woohoo! This is actually a fairly popular one. It's a reboot of the Gamera series, Gamera, Guardian of the Universe.
Pretty good. Voice acting is really good in this one.
Well, it's better than the Godzilla movies so far.
Yeah.
The ones we've done.
That was acid trip number 5 of mine. What? Hi.
Well, I guess we should start off with the basic plot. We'll give everything away. It's a monster movie. I don't think we care.
Character names aren't even important.
Actually, yeah, we don't even remember any of them. Like, one of them's like Nikaham, I think.
I don't even know.
I think one of them's Asagi.
To be honest, I don't want to hurt my brain right now.
Their names are barely ever said in the movie to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point even trying to remember them.
Well, the story is a Japanese, I guess, battleship comes across, what do they call it? Alcove or something like that?
Some kind of giant rock.
Giant rock in the middle of the ocean. So they send a team of people to go investigate it, and they find a bunch of talismans all over the body. They also find, what would you call it, a tablet, a marker?
I think a tablet would sound right. A tablet maybe about, if I were to stand up, maybe about as tall as me, maybe a little bit taller, inside the giant rock. And they
dig a hole into it.
They decide to say, hey, let's dig into it. So they're like, okay.
Because, stepping on it's a great idea. You don't know what it is.
Exactly. So they dig into it, and the tablet's all forming right there in front of them. Well, not forming, it's already formed, you know what I mean.
And apparently, the thing is, like, no radiation on it. Like, maybe a little bit. But, like, they put their hand on it, and it's warm. Okay, one, I take my hand off immediately, because that seems like a bad idea. Mm-hmm. And two, apparently it's also pulsating. Like I don't know how. They don't ever really explain. It just kind of does. And it just kind of disappears because it just breaks into pieces.
A lot of pieces. And so then the rock starts to shake, and of course, who is it? Gamera. What else is new?
I'm surprised I didn't feel them digging a hole into their shell. I'm sorry, into his shell.
Well, he was a giant rock, basically. He was engulfed in a giant rock that moved pretty fast, so I don't even know. So then, cutting aside from that, the main villain of the monster, the main villain of the movie,
the monster villain
is, I forget the name.
It's like Gauss, something along those lines. It's a giant bird.
Yeah, and there's 3 of them. And they're all flying around trying to find food. They're eating people, eating animals and shit. So
actually, I think the only animal we saw to eat was a dog.
Yeah,
that was like the one time.
And at that point, I'm like, dude, you better fucking die because you don't eat that dog. Excuse me, that bird.
And apparently they leave giant pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I'm not finding the shit part hilarious. What I'm finding hilarious is that this girl's friend that was a professor apparently got eaten, and the doctor gets eaten. His bones, flesh, internal organs, they all get, turned into shit. However, and his clothes too. However, his pen and his glasses apparently are unharmed. Those must be the strongest pair of glasses and pen in the world.
Fuck yeah, man.
They survived stomach acid from an artificial monster, whatever.
Glasses for the win. But, anyway. So, they're going to try and capture them because they want to research them because who knows why.
Personally, I would just kill them.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, if there's a giant monster and I know it's eating people, my first thought would be to shove a grenade into its mouth and hope to God it dies.
Oh, yeah. So, they go to the Japanese baseball stadium. You ever knew Japanese people play baseball? Not me. So...
I did.
No, well, screw you. So, they decide to go there in hopes to capture them. So, they leave big pieces of cow meat, which is basically styrofoam for the movie's sake.
It's pretty obvious, too. Which is funny, because the CG in the movie is actually pretty good for the time. However, the cow meat, it looks plastic.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
So they leave them, and the giant bird things decide to go off and say, hey, let's go check it out because it smells really good. So
actually, I'm a little confused because we see planes, or maybe it was helicopters. I don't remember. It's like at the beginning of the movie. The movie's like an hour and 30-some minutes long, I think.
Yeah.
And like they're shining lights onto the monster, but the lights are kind of like a little bit in front of them, so I don't know if the monsters are following the light or the smell of the meat.
I think they're following the smell of the meat.
But like they managed to get the birds to go into the stadium, and they try to close the dome. However, the dome doesn't close all the way. God knows why. One of them manages to escape, and the other two stay there. Actually, I think another one escapes eventually. But this is the part that might kill you if you have epilepsy. Because they turn on the strobe effect against the monster. Because, like, flashing lights hurts it. And it's totally understandable as to why. Because that would annoy me as well. And so here's, like, a real good part. They're using tranquilizer rifles, I guess. And
bolt action.
Yeah, we know they're bolt action. Because we see them fire and then, like, reload. However, they're like firing like crazy. There's like 15 guys there. And we just keep hearing boom, 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 boom. It's like someone there has a machine gun or something filled with tranks. Of course, they overdose the monster, but
big time.
Which probably makes it the weakest monster in monster movie history. I mean, if you try to hit Godzilla with a trank, he's not even going to notice him. And the guy barely notices bullets. I don't think he's going to notice a trank.
Unless it's like maybe the needle's that thick, and then like the rest of the thing's like that long, maybe more filled with acid and shrooms and God knows what
other.
Can
you do shrooms like that?
I don't know.
I've never heard. Okay, let's just get back to the movie.
Yeah.
So Gamera makes his like his first full appearance. Like you see a little bit of him, and then you see the full thing, and it's a little weird seeing him fly, to be honest.
Feels like a flying saucer.
Yeah.
Steam just
shoots out of takes off like a rocket ship. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Like I just assumed that people that were near him were just incinerated by the heat.
That'd be funny. So they fly off to God knows where, some island I think, and going later on in the movie because we're just shooting everywhere apparently. They get this bird expert to decide to try and help them capture the birds, where we're jumping back right now. So now we're going to jump forward. She's on an island that's being evacuated because they've been spotted. So she's in there. Two guys just come up. I don't even know their names. We're just throwing people out here right now. And one of them decides to run across a bridge to help her carry a child across. She trips and falls, and she can't get out of a little hole that's probably big enough for me to fit my whole leg through.
Actually, the funny thing is that when the guy like comes to get her, she gets up immediately. Like she like got herself unstuck. So why was she still laying there?
God only knows. Well, the monsters were right there, so they tried to fly down and attack them. And then they fly down again, trying to attack them. And Gamera appears shooting a giant fireball. Just... And the monster flies away, just hovering there in midair, flapping its wings. Gamera shoots another fireball, just hovering there, and then gets exploded.
He gets hit and blows up like fucking Looney Tunes. It's hilarious.
And then the third one, I guess the strongest one out of all of them, decides to fly by and try and hurt the people. Gamera decides to stop him by putting his hand over them. Don't see why the laser beam wouldn't go through it, but yeah. Gamera's hand gets cut up pretty bad, and people survive. And then...
Actually, that kind of brings me to one of my biggest problems with the movie, is that apparently the girl that's called Asagi or something, she received one of the talismans that were planted all over the rock that had Gamera in it by some scientist guy. I don't know. Maybe I think it was in the military though. Anyways, and apparently she's connected to Gamera in a way that's never really explained. And so whenever Gamera gets hurt, she gets hurt. So she has like a mark on her hand. She gets her arm scratched, her face is cut. I don't know how the face cutting happened, though. I guess I missed that. And it's just never really explained. And this is jumping ahead, but she says that I can't take the necklace off. Gamera needs my strength. What the hell are you gonna do? You're 5 foot nothing. I don't think you're gonna help a giant monster kill a giant bird. You don't do anything. Unless you want to inject yourself with steroids, and that would somehow make Gamera stronger, I don't know how you're gonna help. Anyways, that's jumping ahead, way ahead. We haven't even gotten to when the monster attacks the city, which is, of course, Tokyo, because let's face it, I guess giant monsters hate Tokyo.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think they're trying to help control the population.
Oh, Godzilla. Oh, we need you to come to Tokyo and wipe out more than half the population. We're getting overpopulated here.
Oh, okay, just walk right on over. But we're not talking about Godzilla, we're talking about Gamera, a giant fucking turtle that flies and shoots fireballs. Goddamn, I want a fucking turtle like that. Yeah. I'd ride that thing to school every day.
I think it gets sick. Doesn't it, like, spin?
Sometimes, but apparently the last 2 times it flew straight.
That's true.
So, I mean, fuck it, I'd want that fucking turtle.
Well, anyways, so the monster goes to the city, and the military first the military attacks Gamera, because they don't know that Gamera's on their side. And this is where you learn the military and that this giant monster universe cannot aim for shit.
Nope.
They hit, like, everywhere around Gamera, but not Gamera. In fact, the only thing I heard of is when the giant monster bird attacks Gamera with a laser beam.
Here's Gamera. 1 rocket right in front. Everything else just swarms them and like probably just shoots off in every direction.
He probably didn't even he was probably just wondering what the hell were they doing? Setting off fireworks?
Probably like, bitch, you're almost hitting me here. Come on now.
And so, anyways, we're just gonna skip ahead to the parts that we're gonna mention where more kind of either explained or really don't make enough sense to try to.
And if you get confused by this, just watch the fucking movie.
And so the giant bird monster, Gaios or whatever, goes to Tokyo, and the military starts to shoot him. Once again, proving they cannot aim for shit. They miss him, and they blow up Tokyo Tower. That's nice. You just blew up a national treasure. That's fantastic. It's going to look real good for you guys. Anyways, Gamera comes in eventually, apparently from the sewers, because he just burst out of the ground. I guess he was hanging with Michelangelo or something.
Yeah, buddy.
Actually, I want to see that now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Gamera.
Who would win?
Anyways, let's see. Gamera comes in, like I said, out of the ground, causing more damage than the military or the giant monster bird has. He's the hero? Anyways, so Gamera and him start fighting. Then a bird monster flies up. Gamera chases him, and apparently they're in outer space. I didn't know those two could breathe in outer space, but I'll go with it. Gamera grapples him, and I don't know what the move is called, but it's when you kind of just grapple someone and fly them towards the ground, like, hit their face into the ground. You see it in DBZ all the time, especially in the Namek Saga. Raccoon does it. Raccoon and Zarbon do it to Vegeta in that season. Of course, that fails, and Gamera gets thrown into this factory, I guess, and everything starts exploding. I don't know why. Everything is just blowing up.
As soon as we think it's done talking, we just, like, down the throat, we're like, is it done yet? Then more shit just starts blowing up. We're like, nope, give it about
We don't know
5
where
hours.
it lands. It could have been like an oil factory or something.
I don't know.
And then the final fight obviously takes place, and and Gamera apparently lived through that, because the girl that's, connected to him through some bullshit means, is completely unharmed. She doesn't seem the least bit hurt.
Nope.
From that attack. So Gamera and Gaios get into a fight, obviously. Gaios fires a beam at Gamera, misses. Gamera shoots a fireball at Gaios, causes him to blow up. It's like a Michael Bay film all of a sudden.
Fuck yeah.
And everything just blows up. Everything's happy. Gamera leaves. And then I assume 10 minutes later, Godzilla comes and blows everyone up.
After a half-hour conversation with Gamera. This shit just gets weirder and weirder.
Well, okay. We got through the story. Let's talk about some of the things about the movie. The dubbing in this movie was a lot better than the recent Godzilla movies we have seen. Much better than the Smog Monster. A little better than Godzilla versus Giant Monsters All Out. Let's just call it that.
Yeah.
And definitely better than what was the other one? Oh yeah, Desodroya.
You can never get it all right, though. I mean, the lip syncing is always going to throw you off no matter what.
Obviously. I mean, it's not like anime in which the characters, they're just like opening their mouths and stuff like that. The CG was actually pretty impressive for the time.
I liked it. It was This was a remastered version, I believe, of the first Gamera movie, or
I think it's a reboot.
A reboot, whatever, whatever.
It had a darker tone than the original, from what I've heard. The original was actually pretty campy, from what I've been told.
Yeah, so I mean, they say it's a little bit better. I enjoyed this one.
What?
I lost my train of thought. This is bad.
Well, how about we just give our ratings and end the review?
Yeah, I'd give this, I believe, a 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. I mean, I did like it, but, like, the characters, for the first half hour, you don't even know their fucking names.
And when I said, yes, this is a monster movie, and you're not really supposed to care too much about the human characters, but
I mean,
it would be nice to actually care about them.
I
to
want to know
actually
their names.
think that, oh man, I don't want this person to die. And with them, I'm like, if they die, I'm not going to notice.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know their fucking names. I'm sorry, we were swearing a lot recently. I hope that doesn't get us in trouble.
When the dog dies, I cared more. If one of them died, I would have been like, oh, fuck him, I don't even care. The dog died, I'm like, god damn you, what the hell?
That was my favorite character.
Come on,
I only
it's a dog.
bark several times.
Yeah, he barked maybe like 5 times, and I probably understood him more than what they were talking about. He's like, hey, get away from my house.
Okay, well, personally, I think I'd have to give it a 4 out of 5. This is definitely one of my, one of the favorite Japanese monster movies I've seen yet. Destroy, it took way too long to get to the action, and the monster fights really weren't it for me. Smog Monster can kiss my ass.
Giant acid trip. Loved it.
Well, no, you hated it.
I know, but I like the acid trips.
Oh. And, Giant Monster's All-Out Attack was good. It had a lot of monster fights, but I think I just like this one better.
Yeah, this one definitely piqued my interest more. A lot of explosions. I like explosions. Things go boom. Well, that's it for now. Stay tuned to where we review
one of the what might have been Toho's first first monster movie, Godzilla or
Gojira.
We don't know if it's the first. We couldn't find that kind of information.
Yeah. So until then, stay tuned.
This is the review crew, and as we said, we give this movie a 4 stars out of 5.
Signing out.
Bye.